Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, February 27th. We do have some remnant swell from northwest that came through on Wednesday. A little bit of ground swell coming through today and tomorrow also from the Aleutian activity. Nothing all that epic, but there is some waves out there for west-facing breaks, a little bit of wrap coming into the south-facing spots. Things are going to be changing on Sunday, though. A little bit of change in weather also. Not so much for the southern areas, but more so from the north. Some troughing coming down from the Gulf of Alaska, also bringing a couple low-pressure systems along with it that'll be stirring up some swell off the coast. Looks like we're going to be seeing some increase in swell during the first part of the week, but anything that we do see as far as size probably wouldn't be all that pretty, as weather and winds would be linked to it as well. Some cleaner surf is possibly on the horizon coming out of the southern hemisphere for around the 11th. So I wanted to show you everything that's going on. This is what's happening on the models today, right now. Starting off with an early morning picture across the northern Pacific. Satellite view here showing a good moisture plume sitting offshore. We can see too visibly the trough that's been digging southward. Still off of our area as high pressure is moving in. That moisture plume though is going to be affected by that trough as that trough moves a little bit closer to our area in a couple days, more towards Sunday. For right now though, we do have a weak high pressure system that's close to Southern California. That's more indicative here on the blue, where red would be the low and the troughing effect. You can see where the low and trough is pushing down very far south from Southern California, and so the counterclockwise spin is bringing in that southerly flow and moisture. And we can continue to see that blocking high pressure in the western Pacific, inhibiting any storms coming our way from that area. So everything over the near term is coming down from the Gulf. We can see another low that's going to be dropping down here shortly. And look at how far south that edge of the trough is. That's going to be continuing to whip in a southerly flow, so that can bring in more moisture to the area. Southern California, though, would be on the dividing line of this. The next low, though, dropping down from the Gulf, we can see that it would be gaining some steam. And this is going out on the long-range models. This is taking a look at what Sunday is supposed to bring us in the Pacific. And that trough and low would be getting a little bit closer to our region. High pressure would start moving out. And then as we start getting into Sunday afternoon into Monday, that storm system would be almost nearly right over Southern California. And then when we move even closer, getting into the Tuesday time frame and into Wednesday, looks like that low would be coming right over top of Southern California, just right on the dividing line though. In fact, anything for Southern California for precipitation would probably be light out of this, but that low coming close to our coast also means some increase in swell. Taking a look at the wave models, right now this is the current analysis. Not a whole lot happening across the northern Pacific. I'm going to show you something in the southern hemisphere though in a moment. Right now still talking about the northern hemisphere. That Gulf low is just starting to form right now. This is going to be dropping down in that trough here shortly. And as the models show, as we go out a little bit farther in time, here's 24 hours out, we can see that that storm wants to start dropping down, creating a fetch of about 18 to 20 foot seas. And then as we progress out a little bit farther in time, we can see that it should actually increase more. This is a 48-hour model showing that by probably Saturday night into early Sunday morning, we'd get a 1,200 nautical mile fetch away from us, at about the 20-foot zone. 1,200 nautical miles away is not really all that far when we're talking about 20-foot seas, but this guy is looking to travel directly to the south, as shown here when we go out 72 hours. That would just be not a good angle for us, too much angular spreading decay, but still we're looking at something building as far as swell coming in around the 1st. And then we get a little bit of a repeat of that. Another system coming down from the Gulf. This would be looking at Monday night into Tuesday. And this would be possibly a 20-plus foot fetch, but this is a 96-hour model. Very dubious at this point. And then the models even go out farther here on 120-hour range, showing that there could be an eastward progression. That would then reduce the angular spreading decay and start bringing swell into our region. Little early to call that though right now, but if we then look toward the 4th time frame, this would be kind of on the afternoon of Wednesday the 4th, there would probably be a lot of swell near our coast. Seeing a little bit something forming up in the Aleutians, but this would probably be the heaviest swell day, but models have been very inconsistent on trying to forecast exactly what's going to happen. Now taking a quick look at the southern hemisphere, this is a system showing up on the 72-hour model, so we've still got a few days to go to see if this actually works out. This would be under French Polynesia, and it would move toward under Easter Island, possibly with a 36-foot fetch. That would be a long distance away from us, about 5,500 nautical miles. And you can see here, this wouldn't necessarily travel in a very good trajectory for Southern California, more of an eastward trajectory. But if that thing can get those 40-foot seas at the 120-hour model here is showing, we would definitely probably get something out of this. ETA currently stands for Wednesday the 11th. As far as size, could be about chest to head high, possibly bigger. All depends on the trajectory of this system. And once again, this is all out on the long range, so it's going to take a little bit more time to see how it all unfolds. So that's it in a nutshell. Unfortunately, everything right now is based on the long-range models. We have the northern hemisphere working against us because of the proximity of those Gulf flows that would be dropping down. Still have to wait a couple more days to see what's going to happen, even though they're almost right on top of us. And unfortunately, that's going to have to be the case to see what exactly comes out of it. Models have been really flip-flopping on the idea of having some impressive swell by Wednesday, and just this morning they're really downgrading that just like they did 48 hours ago. Southern hemisphere stuff, not so bad. We're taking a look at only 72 hours out to see what really happens out of that. Those storms take about 7 to 9 days to come our way, so it gives us a lot of a much longer time frame to actually try to judge those swells as they come near our swell window down in the southern hemisphere. But if you want to check out all the ETAs, wind, weather, tide, and more, you can always check out my SoCal Surf Report at wetsand.com.